Okay, so this is going to be sort of a little practice of the knot we're going to use today in the video before we actually start the Christmas tree. So in front of you, you should have, it's called a square knot, but you should have one piece of string that's already on your table in front of you. Then you should have another rope that is about this long, and you're going to fold it in half, just like that. And then you're going to take this curved or rounded end and you're going to kind of go over, think of it as like a swimming pool. You're going to jump over the rope and then you're going to send it behind. So it's over and behind. And then you're going to grab that loop, stick your thumb and forefinger in there, and then you're going to pull these two strings through like that. So I'm going to actually do that one more time really quick, just so if you missed it. So you folded it in half, you send the loop over, pick it up, send it under, and then pull these through. Okay, and if it's loose like that, you're going to want to kind of pull these two strings in the middle, and then if it gets wide like that, you can also push them together, pull, push together, pull, kind of just tighten it. So you want it to end up looking like, sort of like that. Okay, so that's casting on your rope. And then what you're going to want to do next is, so these two strings in the middle are going to be the part of your Christmas tree that is the trunk or the stem. So they might be brown or whatever color you chose for the middle. And something that helps when doing this square knot is to, because these you don't really use, they sort of just stay in the middle. So I like to tape them down, which reminds me that not to use them. So then you're also going to have another string very similar to the one that you just put on, and you're going to this one is going to be like the leaves of the tree. And what you do with this one is you open it up straight and then send it underneath your two in the middle. So you've got it underneath, and then just slide it towards the top and just kind of make sure that it's mostly even. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but mostly even. Okay, so this is where we start the square knot. A square knot consists of a left side and a right side. So we want to start with the left side. And so you take this rope on the left and then you kind of just cross it over and make a loop over the two. So I sometimes call this like the number 4, but you cross it over the two in the middle. Then you take the right rope that's over here and you bring it over this one. So it was over here. You just bring it over this one, and then take your other hand and lift up these 3 strings that are kind of together in the middle, because this rope is going to go under them and through to the other side. So under and send it through to the other side. And now this could like go up and down, that's fine, but you want it to end up at the top, so you can kind of just gently pull, tug, pull, pull till it gets to the top like that. So that is the left side of the knot. So we have to finish it with the right side of the knot. So then you're going to take the right side, cross it over like you did, make your loop. And then this left string now is going to go over just once, just like that one piece. I like to use this hand and kind of grab these 3 strings in the middle, send it underneath, and then out through to the other side. Kind of looks like a pretzel. So then you kind of just tug, tug, tug. And you can, like I said, you can always kind of just move the rope around and get it where you want it. So that is a completed square knot. So I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to show you one more thing. So let's go ahead and start on the left side again. So we start with the left string, makes a loop over the 2. Take your right string, goes over just this one. It doesn't come over here. It just goes over the 1. And then you're going to lift these sort of 3. That way you can just kind of get it and under through to that other hole on the other side. I like to kind of push down here to make sure they don't. And then you tug, 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 tug. So that's the left side of your knot. And then we're moving to the right. So we use the right rope, goes over. This jumps over that 1. And then I lift these 3 in the middle. Tuck it under and bring it through and just like that. So that is called a square knot, and that's the only knot we're using today. Okay, so that's all the knots kind of squished up together as one, but the Christmas tree is going to end up having these loops that get bigger and bigger. So I'll show you, they're going to want you to leave some space between these knots. So I'll show you how to do that. So again, start on the left. And if for some reason this starts to twist, that means that you haven't been going left, right, like maybe you got stuck just doing the left side or something like that, just FYI. Okay, so here I'm going to show you space. So we start on the left, bring it over those two, dump this one over and back through, like send it through and make it go that way. So now you want like a finger's width of space. So you're going to kind of stop maybe right around there. Then, so don't tighten it all the way. You can always loosen it if you need to, and then kind of just figure out like where your finger space is. Then you take the right side. So we did the left, now we're doing the right. So the right goes over, jumps over the one and just underneath there basically. So now as you tighten it, you can always, like I said, you can be in charge of the rope. So if it starts to like get smaller on you, you can kind of pull and pull this. If one side is smaller, sometimes you can yank it, make it bigger. So there is your space. That's going to be the very first loop of the Christmas tree. So then what you do, once this is tight enough, you want it pretty tight, then you're just going to shove this up, and now you have the first loop of your Christmas tree. And then the next loop is they're going to make is going to be a 2-finger space, then a 3-finger space, and maybe even a 4-finger space if you want, depending how big you want your trees. So I'm just going to do this really quick. The left side. And if this gets too short like that, you can always make this little loop small. So this time we want like a 2-finger space, so like that. And then this side is really short. Sorry. Well, that's nice and messy, but anyway, make it a 2-finger space. And then like that. And then as you shove this up, it should be a little bit longer.